Good afternoon, welcome to our first in the series of pub reviews for all you students out there. We're trying to offer a better alternative to the student pub on campus, and we'll be touring in the next couple of weeks some of the local haunts in Norwich, starting off this week with the 10 Bells, probably the most frequented and, well, packed pubs in Norwich, and one of the oldest as well. We hope to sort of be covering practically every aspect of all the pubs in Norwich, from cigarette machines to the loos, and to go through the range of beers, food, meeting the landlords and the punters as well. So come with us, if you will, and a little tour around the 10 Bells. Marvellous. Nick system, it doesn't sound good at all. Got to have a lot of top on it for some reason. Well, I'm talking here now to Mr. Johnson, who's manager of the 10 Bells. Mr. Johnson, if you mean in the trade and at the 10 Bells?
In the trade since 1974, and we've been to 10 Bells since 77. 77,
I see. How old is the 10 Bells?
I think it goes back to 250 years. That's how old it is. There's some parts of the building that are quite old. When we were doing alterations 3 years ago, we found what could have been a priest's hiding place. Whether or not it was, we don't know, but it was something that we just couldn't get it virtually at the bottom there, and the recess goes from the attic to the cellars.
Good place for a priest to hide, anyway. Where did it actually get its name from, anyway?
Stories have it that on a Sunday morning you could stand outside the front door of the 10 Bell Public House and you could hear the bells of 10 different churches, hence the name of the 10 Bells. Quite appropriate, really.
The place always seems to be packed practically every day of the week. What do you think the attraction of the 10 Bells is?
Well, basically, I think we've built up a character-type pub. It's has an intimate relationship. It caters for a wide range of drinking public. We have got 10 different beers at any one time, ranging from a gravity of 1036, which is the weakest, to 1088, which is the strongest. And it seems to be a practicable position.
Yeah, people tend to come here more for the drink than, say, for the decor or Space Invaders or any other jukebox or anything. Do you think perhaps it is the beer that's the biggest lure of this pub more than anything else?
Well, yes, I must say that. Yes, indeed. If it wasn't for them drinking, we wouldn't be in business.
You have sort of quite a wide variety of drinkers in here, from sort of students to older regulars. That's quite strange. It doesn't seem to happen in any other pub in Norwich. Can you give a reason for that at all? It's the beer.
Good beer, served at the right condition and the right temperature, and we think reasonably priced.
How do you actually get your beer? I mean, this is a free house, isn't it? So how do you go about just getting a beer from a particular brewery or something?
Well, we don't. We deal with so many breweries, and we go out and get it. We pull a lot of it in ourselves.
Does that mean that you have to sort of you have a set amount of breweries that you deal with, or are you constantly changing all the year and finding new beers and new tastes?
You're correct. That's what we do. We have 4 brewers that we deal with regularly, and they're more or less local brewers. And the rest of the varieties, we go out and contact the various breweries and bring the beer in by our own band.
So you've no desire at the moment to either sort of do up the pub or make it sort of very plush or anything. You're quite happy with the sort of perhaps spit and sawdust reputation it does have in a way.
I wouldn't say it was spit and sawdust, but the system that we're working on certainly is agreeable to a great number of the public.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Johnson. Thank you. Right, so there you have it, the 10 Bells. If you want an uncomplicated pub with no space invaders, jukeboxes, video machines, chicken in the basket, this is the place for you. It's warm, uncomplicated, it's friendly. The choice of beers is absolutely superb. The price range, very, very good indeed. And out of a mark of 10, I would give this probably 9.5. Oh, mine's a pint. Cheers. In stark contrast to the 10 Bells just down the road, we've come down to the Plough, which is a courage house. Well, I mean, slightly perhaps down market than the 10 Bells, less full perhaps, and not offering the same range of beers, but it still has its major points. As Mr. Harry Royal here will tell us all about. He's been a regular here for 50 years. Harry, why do you like coming to the Plough?
Very nice.
Very nice.
Very nice. Very good people, very good company, and a very good barman or barmaids.
Well, you, I mean, the 10 Bells is just down the road with all the it's you know with all the drinks and all and all the good beers. Why'd you like to come here instead of the 10 Bells?
Well, because it gets too crowded in there, and I've only been in once, and not only that, I don't like the landlady or landlord.
Oh, right, so then. Well, I'm speaking to Betty, the landlady here in the Plough. Betty, how long have you been here?
7 years.
7 years. You enjoy every moment of it?
I do.
Oh, I see. I mean, the competition from the Golden Star, I should imagine, is quite, it pulls an awful lot of people. You don't mind that at all?
Golden Star's closed.
The 10 Bells. I keep going about the Golden Star. I must have this Freudian thing about. You don't mind that about the 10 Bells?
No, they use both pubs. These people, they're going to 10 Bells and here.
This is very much a regulars pub then?
Yeah. I know everybody that comes in.
The place isn't perhaps decored as many pubs are. You don't mind that at all?
No, it's nice like this. This will be the only one left in the end in Norwich, that is really original.
Well, I mean, how old is the pub, do you know?
Well, part of it's 18-something, that it's actually become a pub. But, I mean, the back part of the building is really old. That's the oldest wall they've ever found in Norwich.
Oh, I see.
Religious wall, that is.
Non-religious, you mean it doesn't have any denomination or anything?
No, it means that, I mean, there are churches that are a lot older because the walls around Norwich were built with the churches, weren't they, and all that.
So what beers do you serve?
We've got Directors and Best Bitter on draft.
And I understand you do all the cellar work yourself and everything.
Right, yeah.
You're fairly muscular these days behind the bar.
Yeah.
Chief cook and bottle washer by the sound of it, really.
Yeah, I do it all myself.
So, I mean, what do you think is the actual lure of this pub? I mean, what do you think actually pulls the punters in?
I don't know, really. It's just, I think everybody's really friendly that comes in. You wouldn't come in here on your own, and it wouldn't be long before you wouldn't be speaking to somebody. And I don't allow no swearing. No, they get fined if they start swearing. In my earshot, that is, because I don't swear, so I take money off them for the big C, you see. We already give them £440, so you can tell how much swearing goes on in here.
What about, say, entertainments and things? I mean, like darts teams or, that sort of thing,
We've got a pool table around the back bar. We used to have a pool team and a dart team, but you can't get them bringing outsiders in, and then that's not really the Plough team. They're other people, but so we stopped all that. We just have friendly games of pool around the back bar, and we have occasional fancy dresses. We have bonfire night party, we have things like that go on.
Oh, I see. So, how long has this place been open? Do you know? I mean, how old is the actual pub itself?
That was about 1820. It's been a pub since, yeah.
Right, well, thanks very much, Betty. And, I'm talking to Ken here, who's been a local at the Plough for 18 months. Not a very long time, Ken. What's the lure of the place?
Well, I like the people who come here. They're not, well, how would I say? Well, yeah, pretentious. You know, they like to be themselves here. And I like people like to be themselves. It's just that it's very friendly. Just very friendly.
Yeah, you're a Canadian, aren't you? So I mean, is this the idea of perhaps a typical English pub for you?
Well, I wouldn't say it's a typical English pub, but it's a pub I would like to use.
You got the money behind you. Just saying to you, bloody prove it, that you hate me as much as I do. I think
Right, well, there we have it, just down the road from the famous, or rather infamous, 10 Bells. We have the Plough Courage House, and as you can probably hear, some quite contentious views circling around. If this is the place where you want to have a game of pool, or just mix with the locals who are very, very friendly and very, very talkative and contentious, this is obviously the place for you. I quite like this pub in a perverse way. There's something very, very nice about it. The locals are very, very friendly, and it's... well, it's got everything that an English pub should have. Marks out of 10, I should say, well, I would say 8. 8 on 10.
What's yours?
Oh, mine's a pint.